We know who he likes, and that leads us into Chapter 8, Supply Run. Captain Devlin does manage to get his ship down without it completely being destroyed. And I can only imagine just the sheer relief he has when he gets down from the, actually onto ground. Now, he's described as he looks like he went through a Sharknado with fire. That sounds like a good idea for a movie.
It sounds like an idea for a movie.
Maybe 3? Did they do 3 of those? Or?
At least 2. There's probably a third, but at least 2 of them.
So Evianna comes on deck after the ship stops moving with his shield, and she's just losing it because she feels like she was just given this stupid task of protecting his shield so that she stays the hell out of danger.
Which is true.
Right. Hey, at least Zelfrey can say he has one person that sort of listens to him.
Sort of.
We'll see how long this goes on, but
given her streak, I wouldn't bank on that for a long time.
Now, Volk does also mention that he's very happy to see his shield again, and that he didn't make it quite right. And I wonder that if there's a person that's on the ship that is magical, that has blacksmithing abilities, that can work with trinkets, that could possibly fix the shield.
And would probably want to help Volk out,
I mean, I'd imagine there would be no issue with that whatsoever.
No, it's, hopefully.
Vethica, we get to see her come back as well. Vethica is getting better at her renewal magic, and this could be an amazing thing if they could start to imbue it into the ship. And I think that would be one heck of a thing. Not only do you have an airship, but do you have an airship that can renew itself?
The magic itself is just amazing when it's described as like the wood coming back together. And for that to just be kind of innate, and wherever it happens, you don't have to do repairs. The ship just kind of grows itself back together. So handy.
Yeah. Imagine getting into a fight, like an actual fight with somebody, like a pirate. And they're sitting there throwing volley after volley of cannon fire at you. And you've seen it impact and destroy the ship, but then all of a sudden it just reverts back to its original self.
The mast falls down and then slowly starts to come back up.
So she could have a heck of a business here if she wanted to with her khepera magic.
She could sell that.
And along with Vethica and Akat, we have the other 5 kheperas that are all doing their part in trying to help fix the ship, but they aren't able to actually repair it if there are things missing, like pieces of wood and splinters and that kind of thing. If those are missing, they can only repair it so much with what they have available there. Volk realizes that he doesn't have a very good ability to really do anything to help, as far as he can't heal people, he can't fix things. So he decides, because he is not able to sit still whatsoever, he decided that he was going to go to the bottom of the mountain, try to see if he can find as much material as possible. Evianna wants to come with him and come help Volk. And I like this because she's that puppy that just is so excited to learn and to train with you, and just excited.
She's got that new energy.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like when you first start a job and you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So much better than my last job. And everybody's like, yeah, give it about 6 months. And you're like, okay, like, I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. But he's trying to think of an excuse, but he realizes that this is just, there's nothing he can say. Might as well let her help. So Evianna is going to train with Volk while they're going down there. And he is actually giving her some really good pointers for training in battle. He doesn't say to not hesitate, so I'm glad about that. Everybody's already gathered, ready to go. And Zelfrey basically says that they're going to go in to get materials so that they can help fix the ship, star shards, that kind of thing. And Zelfrey says that Volk is going to lead this. And he's going to basically send the 2 Phoenix Arcanists, because they have the Phoenix feathers that they can use for healing, make it into trinkets and actually heal people there. So most beneficial people for this kind of endeavor for the barters. All right, and with that, we will. That's the end of this week's episode. I don't think there's anything coming up on the horizon, anything new as far as we're aware of at the moment, at least for when this is being recorded.
Next up, I think the next upcoming is Time Marked Warlock 2, which is crazy, but I think that's the next one.
That'll be in November, so by the time this is actually posted, we're not going to be too terribly far off from that.
Yeah, which is crazy.
All right, with that, we're going to end today's episode, and we'll catch you guys next week. Thank you.
Eric, Scott, and I want to thank everyone for listening today. We post a new episode every Wednesday morning at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, and 8 Pacific Standard Time. We are on all podcasting platforms and are also on YouTube as well for video. After the additional episode airs, we post chapter-by-chapter videos every day in a smaller, easier-to-digest format. We do want to give a special shout-out to the final member of our team, Dan Mackison, one of the admins for the Frith Chronicles Wiki, link listed below, and doing his best to keep everything running smoothly behind the scenes. If you want to reach out to us, you could email us at frithguildpod@gmail.com or on Facebook or any other social media by searching for Frith Guild Podcast. Just to remind everybody, we have links to everything in the description below on both the podcast and YouTube.